Tonight, Stanford and Nebraska meet for only the 5th time. Nebraska's lone victory was in the semifinals of the 1986 NCAA championships. Up front for Stanford, this is Kristen Klein. In 1988, her freshman year, she was chosen as a first-team All-American. And for Nebraska, number 14, Virginia Stair, a 1988 All-America middle blocker. Tonight, these players and teams will be separated only by a net as they vie for the championship of the first-tier invitational. From the UNL Coliseum in Lincoln, Nebraska, your Nebraska ETV network presents Husker Volleyball. Tonight, the Huskers take on Stanford. Hello again, everyone. I'm Bill Dolman. Tonight, it's Nebraska and Stanford. Year in and year out, they are two of the best teams in college volleyball, and 1989 is no different. They're unbeaten in this tournament so far, and they're renewing a rivalry that last ended in 1986 at the Final Four. Let me bring in my partner tonight, former Cornhusker volleyball standout and a member of that 1986 Nebraska team, Angie Milliken. And Angie, these two teams have had a tough tournament so far. How tough is it for them to come back for the feature match tonight?
Well, I think both teams have expressed a desire to win. Last night, Nebraska down 2-0 to Kentucky, came back the next 3 sets to win the match. This afternoon, Stanford had a ditto match, down 2-0 to Kentucky, came back to win the next 3. So both teams have shown that they're very competitive, and when they're down 2-0, which is very hard to do in volleyball, to come back from that, they've done it. So I think there's no love lost between these two teams, and this gym's going to be packed tonight, and it's going to be a great game.
Well, we saw at the top of the broadcast Kristen Klein of Stanford and Virginia Stair of Nebraska. They are two of the top players in the country, and we'll see them tonight. But both teams are loaded with talent, and we'll see a lot of that talent tonight because there have been a lot of injuries in those two squads. But the coaches do see a positive in this early season. They
do. Laura Asper, the setter for Stanford, has been out with a nagging back injury, and Feldman stepped in and has set in this tournament. But Asper will play tonight. Nebraska has been plagued with several injuries. Of course, Linda Barsness is out for the season. Virginia Stair back from a shoulder injury. So the freshmen are having to come up and take major roles, and, you know, is adding a lot of depth to Nebraska's program. So it's just going to be a great match tonight.
Well, it has the makings for a great one. It's Nebraska and Stanford, and we're happy you're here on Nebraska ETV. Enjoy all the action. Let's go down to courtside and our PA announcer, Mick Pierce, for the player introductions.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the 1989 First Tier Banks Invitational. Playing tonight, the two undefeated teams, Stanford and Nebraska. And now for introductions, starting with the visiting Stanford Cardinals. Non-starters for the Cardinals, number 5, Carrie Feldman. Number 6, Karen Anderson. Number 11, Jody Burke. Number 12, Lori Sawin. Number 15, Jessica Benton. Number 17, Christy Passo. The starters for Stanford Cardinals. Number 7, Jennifer Shafee. Number 8, Amy Cooper. Number 10, Bev Oden. Number 16, Kristen Klein. Number 22, Laura Asper. And the captain for the Cardinal, Laura Olesen, number 13. The head coach for the Cardinal, Don Shaw, assisted by Denise Corlett. And for the University of Nebraska, Cornhuskers. Non-starters for the Huskers. Number 2, Stephanie Fader. Number 3, Becky Bowley. Number 5, Linda Barsness. Number 8, Debbie Brandt. Number 9, Sarah Hesch. and number 22, Valerie Vermeulen. The starters for Big Red, number 1, Val Novak. Number 4, Carla Baker. Number 7, Eileen Shannon. Number 17, Janet Cruz. And number 25, Chris Hall. The captain for the Huskers, Virginia Stair, number 14. The head coach for the University of Nebraska, Terry Pettit. Assisted by John Cook, Terry Killian, and Kathy Noth.
Well, we are set to go with some exciting volleyball action. It's Nebraska and Stanford, and Angie, you can't say enough about the talent of these two teams.
Bill, these teams are ready to go. I tell you what, there's no love lost, like I said before. 1986 Final Four, Stanford did not expect to be beaten by a farm state, quote unquote, as they were. And, you know, the talent on these two teams, like you said, is awesome, and it's going to be an awesome match.
I think these fans are really anticipating that. They've packed the NU Coliseum. We got a pep band in here, and the fans have gone up into the upper levels, and it is really exciting. These people really want to see a good volleyball match, and we are live on the campus of the University of Nebraska. Terry Pettit, John Cook, Kathy Noth, and his staff. The Huskers are ready to go for this one. They've been looking forward to this all weekend.
They have, and I think the key to this, to the beginning of the match, Bill, is that we need to mention the setters. Val Novak and Laura Asper are going to run these two teams much like a quarterback does in football. They'll be calling the plays. Novak, of course, had to fill some big shoes in following Lori Endicott and Tisha Delaney, both All-Americans, and Endicott, of course, the starting setter for the U.S. national team. And Laura Asper might not be the greatest athlete as far as setters go in the nation, but she's got the biggest heart, and I know that because she was on my Olympic Festival team in 1986. So these two teams are in good hands as far as the setting position goes. And
that is definitely a key for the action that's going to take place tonight. Val Novak of Nebraska will get things started as we begin this game. Nebraska and Stanford, and she begins the game in fine fashion with an ace serve.
That's a good way to tell Stanford that they're here to play some ball, and I'm sure Stanford's a little bit intimidated. Bill, they haven't started school yet, nor have they had any home matches, so they've been on the road, and sometimes it's a bit intimidating to go into people's places and see a crowd like this one tonight.
Especially in the Coliseum. The Huskers having some trouble getting the ball back over. The side out will go to Stanford, but the Coliseum is definitely one of the most intimidating places to play.
It is, and these Huskers love this place.
Amy Cooper serves for Stanford. Referee's whistle is going to stop play. We have an in-the-net violation called against Nebraska. And Stanford ties the match up at 1. Amy Cooper, a sophomore out of Davis High School in California. Novak plays it out of the net. Cruz will try and play the free ball back over, but the Huskers having some trouble defensively early.
Last two plays, they've had a little trouble passing.
2-1 Stanford our score. And again, the Huskers with trouble on the service receive. They can't get it over in the 3 tries.
Well, they started off with a bang and with an ace serve by Novak, and now 3 bad passes in a row have given Stanford points. So I'm sure Terry Pettit is telling his girls right now that we need to pass.
Nebraska takes time out.
Here's the bad pass by Chris Hall and not quite able to get it over, and Nebraska can't start off their play in that manner.
Val Novak trying to get the Husker offense situated so that she can get in possession to make that set. It's really critical that they get that pass up to the setter for the second hit so she can get that ball to where they want it, to one of the outside hitters. 3-1 as we come out of the timeout. Amy Cooper serve. Baker in the backcourt. Gets it to Novak. Looking for Janet Cruz. Off the block, and Noden plays the hit. Quick set. Hit is into the net by Laura Olison, and the Huskers will take the side out.
Virginia Stair up with the block, and she's going to be happy to do that many times tonight.
Eileen Shannon gets it underway from Nebraska. Asper setting Klein. Baker has trouble on the spike attempt.
I'm sure these two teams are have a bit of the jitters tonight. First time on television this season. And this place is packed.
Laura Olison will serve. Stanford leads 3-1. Baker gets it to Novak. Quick set to Stair. Played nicely. Free ball. Nebraska will have another chance. Here's Jenna Cruz from the right side. Blocked by Oden and Klein. Point for Stanford. 4-1 our score.
Here's Cruz on the attack. Nice block setup by Stanford. I have a feeling, Bill, that they're going to be setting up a strong block on Janet Cruz, as last night she had 33 kills against Kentucky.
Chris Hall for Nebraska. That is a key point for Nebraska. They've got Chris Hall in the lineup.
And there's her strong approach. Don't even get a block set up out there. And Chris Hall, nice attack by Chris.
Virginia Stair will serve for Nebraska with the side out. They trail 4-1. Dig back over by Chris Hall, and 2 attacks in a row for Chris. And she's successful on both of them. Nebraska back on the board, 4-2. Asper running the show to Oden. Her dink in front of Novak, and side out back to Stanford. But that's the big key for Nebraska, is having Chris Hall back in the lineup. She didn't play in the opening round match against Kentucky.
She didn't. She's been plagued with a big back injury, and she's a powerful hitter. Nebraska did a nice job with its other substitutes, and Terry Pettit said in the interview, I talked with them earlier today, people have been rising to the occasion to help out with the injuries on Nebraska, but Chris Hall is a big factor because she hits the ball hard.
Deb Oden for Stanford. And Shannon can't play it, and Novak has trouble reaching it up, and it hits the net. Inside out back to Stanford. Just bad passing for Nebraska so far.
Yeah, they're having a little trouble with their ball handling all around.
Kristen Klein will serve. Cruz, jump set by Novak. And Hall won't be able to control it. 4 hits called against Nebraska. 5-2 our score for Stanford.
Nebraska needs to take a deep breath here. Say, okay, we know that we're a good team. We know we're a good passing team, and get the ball to Novak. Virginia Stair does just that.
Chris Hall again. Off the antenna, out of bounds. Point Stanford, 6-2 our score.
There's Chris with a very strong approach, but the set was a little too far outside, and she catches the top of that antenna.
Shannon down to Novak. Quick set to Baker. Just out of the reach of Olison, and the Huskers will take this side out.
That's exactly what Nebraska needs to do tonight, is run the middle. And there you see Carla Baker. The block wasn't even set up on her. She went through a big hole, and Nebraska needs to set the middle tonight.
Special weapon checking in for Nebraska is Becky Boley, and there's that top spin jump serve, and it's just like a spike almost. Nice block in the middle by Baker. Stanford will have another chance. They'll play a free ball over. Boley in the backcourt. Novak now. Baker again on the kill. Amy Cooper. Nice block by the Huskers. Cooper again. Dink attempt. Cruz, nice dig. Eileen Shannon will dink it over, and Stanford now on the offensive. Bev Oden. Back and forth they go. Eileen Shannon for the Huskers off the block. Out of the backcourt comes Kristen Klein, but out of bounds. Her attempt goes long. And Nebraska's on the board again. 6-3 they trail. Becky Boley.
It's amazing what a serve like this will do for the momentum. You saw Nebraska ball handling like they were champions in that rally after they come off 6 bad plays.
Shannon off the block. Nice dig in the backcourt by Chafee. Stair will play it up to Novak. Net violation is called, and side out to Stanford.
Talked with Terry Pettit earlier today, Bill, and he thinks serving is going to be the key to this match. If both teams can take the other team out of serving so that they can't set the middle as much, you know, the team that does that the best is going to win this one.
Back set to Baker. Her kill attempt is down and good. Side out back to Nebraska. 7-3 our score. 6-3. Scoreboard changes back. Gets us a little crossed up, but 6-3 Stanford leads it. Carla Baker will serve for Nebraska. Asper, back set. Lifting violation is called on Asper. Point Nebraska. They trail by 2.
Both teams still having a little trouble with the ball handling all around, and I saw both teams do a much better job against Kentucky last night and today, so I still think there's a few jitters left in the Coliseum, and we're going to see some great volleyball when things pan out a little bit.
Carla Baker with the service error sends the side out back to Stanford. Laura Asper will serve. Virginia Stair in the middle, blocked nicely by Amy Cooper. That's something we didn't plan on seeing, was a kill attempt by Virginia Stair.
Yeah, Virginia hasn't been hitting this tournament much. They've been trying to save her shoulder.
She's in the front row now. Shannon plays the free ball over. Asper running the show again. Chafee from the back line. Jump set to Eileen Shannon. Back and forth they go. At the net is Val Novak. Stanford plays the free ball over. The Huskers with another chance. Dunk attempt by Novak. Out of bounds is the hit from Laura Asper, Nebraska with an advantage.
Novak, a left-handed setter with a great block, and that's the key to Nebraska right now.
Novak will serve. The Huskers trail by 3, 7-4. Novak again looking for Cruz off the block. Nice dig in the backcourt by Klein. Chafee off the block. Stair. Back and forth. Off the block, it's Jennifer Chafee.
Here's a great hit. Nebraska not quite getting their block set up solidly.
Cooper will serve for Stanford. They lead it by 3. Block in the middle by Laura Olesen is down for a point. 8-4 our score. Olesen is the team captain, an All-American candidate at that middle blocker position. Chafee now, setting Olesen. Her attempt is long. Nebraska will have the side out. And substitution coming back in for Nebraska is Chris Hall replacing Becky Boley. They will put Becky Boley in primarily as a back row specialist, and especially with that top spin jump serve that she has. But when you get Chris Hall, you get an opportunity to get her in the front row. They'll go with Hall. And here she is on the attempt. Dug by Oden. Middle it goes. Virginia Stair at the net against Chafee, and Stair gets the better of that exchange. Point Nebraska. One-on-one, Virginia Stair and Jennifer Chafee. And Nebraska with the point, 5-8 now. Eileen Shannon serve. Cruz setting Hall. And her attempt is off. Amy Cooper and back into the balcony. Point Nebraska. Chris Hall, as we said, sat out. Had 7 kills this morning, though, in her first game back.
Chris Hall has one of the strongest attacks I've seen in my 4 years of volleyball, and I'm sure it will be for the next 4.
Klein's attempt goes long. Another point for the Huskers. 7-8 now. The Huskers trail. And we have a timeout called by Dawn Shaw and Stanford. The Huskers coming back with some momentum.
Yes, they are. Both teams are starting to ball handle a little bit, and I know I dwell on that, but that is the key to this match, because if you don't ball handle well and don't get the ball to the setter, you don't have any options. And if you do ball handle well, Laura Asper and Val Novak are going to be very selective in who they want to set. And that's when the strategy of the game really starts to set in.
Well, the one they've gone to setting to is Chris Hall. And as we said, she's had a back injury, as like a lot of Huskers have. She's been one of the walking wounded. But Huskers have gone to her here in the early going, and she's really responded.
Here's a set by Asper. Nice attack, but just out.
When we come back, Nebraska will have the serve. Eileen Shannon, a freshman who has done an outstanding job for Nebraska so far, especially in this tournament. She serves. Asper to Klein. On the line. Side out to Stanford. They lead by 1, 8-7. Laura Olesen will serve. As we said, the team captain for this Cardinal team and one of the 2 players who played in that 1986 Final Four game. Here's Janet Cruz with a kill attempt. And again, into the backcourt of Stanford. Stanford really having a hard time trying to get those kills from Hall and Cruz when they get to the backcourt.
Cruz has been hitting a lot of balls, and so has Eileen Shannon. They've been getting a lot of sets these past 2 days.
Stair serving for the Huskers. Bev Oden in the middle. Novak running the show to Hall again. Dink. Nice block. Recovery by Nebraska. Hall with another attempt into the backcourt. Asper jump set to Klein. Dug by Shannon. And here comes Janet Cruz again. And oh, she finds the open area nicely. And the Nebraska fans love it.
The Nebraska fans love to say her name. You can hear them going, ooh, for Cruz.
A serve for Virginia Stair, and she slacked up about that one. Nebraska takes a 9-8 lead.
That ace serve will help the momentum in this Coliseum like you wouldn't believe.
Asper, quick set to Oden. Dug by Novak. Cruz setting Hall. Into the block.
They didn't think the block touched there, so they called 4 hits.
Side out will go to Stanford. Nebraska has regained the lead. Virginia Stair with a couple of points. Nebraska leads 9-8. Chafee to serve. Novak now setting Hall on the outside. Off the block and long. Chris Hall with another kill.
Chris Hall hits high and hard, and there isn't many times that ball doesn't graze the top of that block. Many times she goes right over.
Janet Cruz will serve. Kristen Klein from the 10-foot line. Dug by Shannon. Quick set to Baker. Chafee now. Klein again. Off the block and out of bounds. Side out Stanford.
Nice block set up by Nebraska, but right through the hands. We call that a field goal in volleyball because it goes right through the hands of a blocker.
Chris Hall, just long. The Huskers really going to her on the left side. Kristen Klein will serve. We're tied at 9. Stair to Novak, setting Hall again. Tried to take a little bit off that and took too much into the net. Stanford takes a 10-9 lead. We're in the first set. Klein again with the serve, just over the net. And a tough time receiving for Eileen Shannon. And on the receiving error, Stanford takes a 2-point lead, and Nebraska coach Terry Pettit calls timeout.
Back and forth we go with the momentum. I think that what Terry Pettit said about the serve is really showing through here. Becky Boley comes in, serves a couple tough points. Nebraska gets the momentum and takes the lead. Virginia Stair. Then we come back with Chafee serves a couple tough balls. So it's just going to go back and forth. And the team that serves the toughest, I think, is going to win this game. And you want to have more aces than errors. And Nebraska, unfortunately, is notorious for making a lot of errors when they serve tough. But hopefully that won't plague them tonight.
Well, Becky Boley, you said, came in and got a couple of points, or got a point for Nebraska with the jump serve. She had done that in the first round match against Kentucky. And then later in that match, she went away from that and went with a standard floor serve, but she's apparently feeling a little more confident in that jump serve tonight. Kristen Klein will serve as we come out of the timeout. Stanford leads by 2. Here's Chris Hall. Dug by Olesen. Nebraska with another chance on offense. Quick set to Baker. And the Cardinal now. Bev Oden. Shannon with a nice dig. Quick set again to Baker. She finds the open area, and Dawn Shaw is not happy.
What Dawn Shaw is not happy with is this kind of bobble in Novak's hands. He thought maybe it was a double hit. At any rate, Baker with a nice kill.
And Boley checks in again. She's the serving specialist. There's that jump serve. Tough one to handle. Nice dig in the backcourt. Quick set to Oden. And Stanford's able to fight off that serve by Boley and get the side out. They lead by 2, 11-9.
Bev Oden, we should mention, an extremely good player that comes from an extremely good volleyball family. Sister Kim played for the Stanford Cardinal, and her sister Elena played for the University of the Pacific.
Laura Sawin checks into the Stanford lineup. She also has a jump serve that we might see later on tonight. Net violation against Stanford. Side out back to the Huskers. They trail by 2, 11-9. We are in the first set. It's Nebraska and Stanford, and this is starting out everything we expected it to be. A great volleyball match. Back and forth they go. Carla Baker will serve for Nebraska. And Olesen has a tough time on the receive. An ace for Baker and a point for Nebraska. They trail by 1.
With that ace serve, don't be surprised now, Bill, as we mentioned, to see Nebraska get the momentum here.
Baker's second serve. Klein up to Asper with the dink. Just around the block of Eileen Shannon, and she gets the side out back to the Cardinal.
It's a very effective thing. When the setters are front row, they can oftentimes attack that when you're not expecting it.
Asper serving for the Cardinal. Shannon now on the kill. Off the block. Over it goes net. Play is back and forth. Shannon with the dink. Nice dig by Olesen. Her kill attempt is wide off that left sideline.
Here's the tip by Shannon. Good position, but the Stanford defense is right there.
Val Novak will serve for the Huskers. They trail by 1. Again, tough time on that service receive for the Cardinal, and they play the free ball over the Huskers with a chance on offense. Here's Eileen Shannon. Referee's whistle is going to stop play. Again, Dawn Shaw's not happy. Virginia Stair had the they hit at the net with the dink, and she wanted to carry on the Cardinal offense, or the defensive receive, and she got it. Huskers have tied it up at 11. Asper sending Shafee. Dug by Baker. Here comes Novak looking for Eileen Shannon off the block. Stair again to Shannon. Another block. Novak. Janet Cruz attempt is long, but I think she had a message behind that one.
Cruz is going to get a lot of sets tonight. I think going back to Don Shaw, I think one of the reasons why he's most disturbed is when you get a team from the Pac-10 and a team from the Big 8, you'll oftentimes have officials that officiate in those respective conferences a lot differently. And I think Don Shaw feels like the referees are giving a little bit too much freedom to this game.
Huskers with a nice block in the middle. Stanford again on the offensive. Novak now. Back set to Cruz. Along that baseline and in. Janet Cruz once again.
Novak's doing a great job of mixing it up. She has a great sense of where the Stanford blockers are and who they want to commit on. And you know when Stairs in that front row, that's what they think the set of choice is. And Cruz has been doing a great job of taking that relief off Virginia.
Chris Hull checks in, so another big gun in the lineup for the Huskers. Quick set to Chafee. Nice block in the middle by Virginia Stair.
That's what Virginia Stair wants to do tonight. She's not been too sharp on her attacking because of her shoulder, but she can block those balls, and that's what she wants to contribute.
Chris Hall plays the free ball back. Nice dig in the backcourt by Olesen. Huskers with another chance on offense. Novak. Quick set to Stair and down in front of the 10-foot line. Great play by Nebraska.
And there's Virginia. You're not going to see her hit the ball hard tonight, but she knows where to put it.
Terry Pettit says she has a great sight of the court, great court vision, and she really showed it on that particular play. There wasn't much of an opening, but she found it. And Nebraska now with a 13-11 lead. Nice dig by Baker. Novak now. Chris Hall off the block. Net violation against Stanford, and the Huskers take a 14-11 lead. Eileen Shannon with a few points in a row. The Huskers with the rally. And a timeout called by Don Shaw as they face game point here in the first set.
Stanford looks a little tense. I don't think Don Shaw's been very happy with the officiating, and I think that he's a little disturbed with his Stanford Cardinal at this point. I keep wanting to say Stanford Cardinals, but the official term for Stanford is the Cardinal.
And they're pretty particular about it,
They
too,
are.
I think. You hear that a lot. But this is the Nebraska Cornhuskers, and they lead 14-11 over Stanford. Terry Pettit's got to be pleased with the way the Huskers have been able to rally here.
They're doing a great job of ball handling. Val Novak doing a great job of mixing it up, getting the ball to Stair, Cruz, Chris Hall.
The Huskers with 3 service aces in this first set. And Eileen Shannon, the Huskers lead 14-11. Eileen Shannon, the freshman from Elmhurst, Illinois, will serve for game point here in the first set. And the crowd really into it. Olesen off the block. Nice dig by Shannon. Novak to Cruz. Into the net, side out Stanford. So Stanford fights off 1 game point. Back into the lineup will be Bev Oden checking in for Lori Sawin. 14-11 our score. Stair again with a quick set. Jessica Benton is checked in for Stanford. Nice block in the middle by Stair and Janet Cruz. The Huskers really setting that wall up.
It's going to sound funny, Bill, but Janet Cruz has the biggest hands I've ever seen on a girl. She's a concert pianist as well as a very strong blocker.
Huskers playing nice defense. Eileen Shannon, her attempt is going to go long, and the Nebraska bench is up now. Terry Pettit wanted to carry.
Terry Pettit saying that was a terrible set, and Don Shaw saying, well, what about the terrible set we had 2 plays ago? So obviously the referees are calling it both ways.
Don Shaw up on Terry Pettit, 2 stand-ups to 1. Jessica Benton, who had checked in for Stanford, has with a service error, gives the side out back to Nebraska. And Janet Cruz will serve again for game point. They lead 14-11. Serve floating over. Free ball played over to the Huskers. Nice play by Carla Baker. And Nebraska takes game 1, 15-11.
defense. Chris Hall and Janet Cruz are both hitting that ball hard. And Stanford is getting a dig. They might not get a dig up where they can run a play, but at least they're keeping it from hitting the floor. And I think maybe as things smooth out a little bit, you're going to see Stanford maybe having a little bit of a softer dig so that they can run their offense and not send the ball over the net. But these fans are here to see a great match, and this is the kind of volleyball that Nebraska likes to put on.
They've had some great shows here on ETV. Last year we broadcast the Nebraska-Texas matchup, and of course Texas went on to win the national championship. But in a 5-set thriller, the Huskers came back to win it. And Terry Pettit, part of his philosophy at Nebraska is to bring in the best teams in the country to play the best, to become the best. He brings in Stanford, who had been ranked as high as #2 in the country this season. They've lost a match, but they're #5. These matches can only make both teams better.
That's true. Stanford in the Pac-10, a phenomenal conference, probably the renowned conference for volleyball. The Big Eight's getting better, but during the Big Eight season, you know, Nebraska doesn't play the toughest teams. Terry Pettit tries to create that situation in practice. But Nebraska, to be successful, has to bring in big teams like Stanford and Kentucky so that they can get the kind of competition that Stanford's playing out on the West Coast in their Pac-10 conference.
We've had a great matchup here so far. 15-11, the Huskers take the first set. Virginia Stair, it's got to be a big boost for Nebraska just to have her on the floor. I know she just played the back row last night. Tonight she's played the entire rotation. She's played very well. That's got to be a big boost.
Well, Terry Pettit feels like she's one of the leaders on the team, and sure, you know, she surely is. And he feels like if the only way he can have her on the court is to play defense, then he'll do that, because she's a great leader.
We are getting set for action here in the second set. Lori Sawin will start the action for Stanford. She will get things underway with the serve. This all. Novak with the back set to Shannon. Off that block. Nice dig by Sawin. There's some miscommunication between Benton and Laura Asper. They were trying to play the free ball back over to Nebraska, but just got kind of crossed up. Nebraska will take the side out, and Val Novak will get things underway for Nebraska. Just clearing the net. Again, a free ball, and a referee's whistle stops play. 4 hits called against Stanford, and Nebraska now leads 1-0. Another tough serve to handle, and an ace for Val Novak.
This is Novak's favorite serve. Very sharp to the 2 position on the court, and that is a tough ball to pass, believe me.
A lot of speed on the serve. At the net they go. Novak now. Back to Cruz. And Sawin can't handle a kill for Janet Cruz. She is on her game tonight.
Cruz has been on her game all weekend, Bill. She is hitting the ball great.
As you said, 33 kills in one of the previous games of this tournament. Well, Val Novak had been walking a fine line, but just almost hitting the net in her last 3 serves. She finally gets a service error there, but she gives Nebraska a 3-0 lead. And Lara Asper will try and get Stanford on the board in the second set. Novak, back set to Shannon. And a kill for Eileen Shannon, and that's no surprise either.
Eileen Shannon, nice back set by Novak. Little hole there in the block, and Shannon finds it.
And Shannon will serve for Nebraska, leading 3-0. Another service receive error for the Cardinal. Nebraska leads 4-0. I say no surprise with Eileen Shannon getting that kill to fall. She had 25 kills in Nebraska's 3-game win over Pittsburgh earlier today, and that broke a school record held by Enid Schoenweis, who had 23 against Penn State back in 1986. And Shannon's just a freshman. And of course, Enid Schoenweis, one of the top players in Nebraska history.
Shannon getting a lot of play with Linda Barsons out, and she is taking on her role phenomenally.
And she's given Nebraska another couple of points. They now lead 5-0, and Dawn Shaw once again calls timeout.
Dawn Shaw needs to call a timeout here because the momentum is slipping away from Stanford. Nebraska serving very tough, blocking very tough, and those 2 things are very crucial to momentum. When you get an ace serve, it's very hard to regroup. When you have somebody roof you with a great double block, that's hard to regroup. Nebraska doing both of those things right now. Stanford knows it needs to pass, get the ball to Asper, and get back in this game.
Terry Pettit, I know he was a little uneasy about his team's performance last night. They went 5 sets with Kentucky, had to come down for an 0-2 deficit. But they came back in a game that went quite long. In fact, we got out of here about 11:30 last night. But his team's playing very well today. Took 3 sets over Pittsburgh. And now they took the first set against Stanford. And a nice play by Chris Hall with the dink. And Nebraska takes a 6-0 lead. Eileen Shannon, the Huskers, with a 6-0 lead. We're in the second set. They've gotten off to a big lead already. And Stanford taking a little time to do some cleaning up on the court. It is a little warm in this Coliseum, and as hard as these players are working, they're going to have a couple of stoppages of play to wipe up the court with the moisture.
The last couple games, you're going to see every play. Someone will be wiping up the floor. Cooper with a great shot. Inside arm of Virginia Stair.
Cooper serve for Stanford. Virginia Stair with the dink. Asper jump set to Benton. And it goes long, not touched by Baker. Just about. Carla Baker trying to make a play for it, but Benton's attempt goes long. And Virginia Stair will serve on the side out. Asper trying to get the offense going for the Cardinals. Dink by Klein. Nice block by Baker into the backcourt. And Cooper can't get to it. Carla Baker with a great play at the net.
Awesome block set up by Nebraska. Carla has great hanging time. She hangs up there, she tips, and Carla's able to block it.
Huskers leading 7-0. Quick set attempt to Olesen. And her attempt is into the net. Nebraska really looking sharp here in the second set. They lead 8-0 now.
Nebraska's hungry, Bill. They know how important it is to beat West Coast teams like Stanford.
Asper, jump set now, looking for Klein. Off the block and out of bounds.
I think that one went off the top of Carla Baker's head.
Well, we talked about the power behind Chris Hall and Janet Cruz from Nebraska. Kristen Klein was a freshman All-American last year, and she's one of the best players in the country. We highlighted her at the beginning of the broadcast.
Very powerful hitter.
Janet Cruz again off the block of Oden. Asper now, quick set to Oden in front of a diving Virginia Stair.
Here's the set. Oden knows exactly where to go with that ball, middle of the court.
Stanford finally on the board in the second set. They trail 8-1. Laura Olesen serving for the Cardinals.
Laura Olsen and Laura Asper, two of the Stanford girls that were on that 1986 team when Nebraska defeated them at the Final Four. So these two girls in particular have a little revenge.
Olesen's serve goes long, and Janet Cruz will take the side-out serve for Nebraska. Asper, at the net it goes. Oden tried to play it off the block of Hall. And Don Shaw again up out of his chair wanting a call at the net. And he's not going to get it. Nebraska leads 9-1. Cruz's second serve is long. Service error will go back to Stanford with the side out. And Jessica Benton, all 6'4" of Jessica Benton will serve. And you can imagine she is a top basketball player if you were wondering. Huskers, Carla Baker, her kill attempt is long. Stanford back on the board again, 9-2 our score.
I think one of the reasons why Don Shaw made the substitution of Jessica Benton is that she sets a very high and big block. And when you've got girls like Cruz and Chris Hall hitting on the outside, you need the biggest wall you can put up out there. And so they put in 6'4" Benton.
Her serve went long on the air. Nebraska will have the side out. Becky Boley checks into the lineup, the serving specialist. We mentioned Chris Hall will take a seat on the bench as she would be in the back row. Jump serve from Boley. Dug by Olesen. Asper, quick set to Oden into the net. Nebraska with another point.
Nice set by Asper, good position. Oden trying to do the same thing that she did on the last play, tip in the middle of the court, and she didn't quite clear the net.
Asper again. Here's Oden. Nice block by Baker. And off of Asper, Carla Baker doing a great job with the net tonight. And another timeout called by Don Shaw. Talking to Terry Pettit earlier this week about Becky Boley, he said that that serve can be intimidating even if you don't score off of it, for the simple fact that it really changes up your defense and your receiving.
There aren't many girls, well, more girls are coming on to jump serve now, but the jump serving is used by the men much more than it is by the women. And it's intimidating when you know that a girl's going to jump serve, because like Pettit said, you have to change your passing formation, and you get a lot more nervous about passing a jump serve than you do a regular serve. And it can change momentum very quickly.
Don Shaw's got to wonder what hit his Cardinal team in this second set. They trail 11-2, and this is a fired-up Nebraska squad. We talked earlier today that Nebraska, in their first 2 matches, volleyball is such a game of momentum. They never really seem to get that rally going and put together the 5 or 6 point rallies that they have tonight. Boley again with the jump serve. Novak now looking for Shannon. Off the block. Nice play by Boley. 3-ball played over. Here comes the Cardinal on the offensive. Oden. Novak with the dig. Cruz looking for Shannon. Cooper gets it back over, but the Huskers with another opportunity. Set to the far side for Shannon, and the block by Asper finds a mark on the open court, but Terry Pettit likes what he sees from his offense.
Set by Novak. Shannon tried to use the outside blocker a little bit there, but she wasn't quite lucky enough.
Boley thought that may go out of bounds. Stanford with the side out. Eileen Shannon, her kill attempt just over the block of Asper and down, and side out Nebraska.
Eileen Shannon, just a freshman, arches her back quite a bit when she hits that ball, but she hits high and hard.
Carla Baker, Nebraska leads 11-2. Asper, Cooper with the dink. And we're going to get a referee's whistle in the net violation called against Nebraska. Our referees tonight, Steve Arnell, high atop the court on the referee standard on the far side from our vantage point. Dave Streggy is the floor official, the second official tonight. Eileen Shannon off the block and down. Side out back to the Huskers.
Eileen does a good job. If they don't give her enough line for her to hit it, she uses the outside blocker.
Val Novak with the serve again, just clearing the net. Bev Oden from the backcourt. Dug by Novak. Cruz setting Shannon. Off the block. Quick set to Cooper. Nice block by Stair. Olison's attempt is wide. Point for the Huskers. They lead by 10, 12-2.
What you saw there by Bev Oden is the thing that you're going to see Stanford do a lot in this match. They like to set their backcourt players. And you can attack from the backcourt as long as you jump behind that 10-foot line. And Stanford's got 4 or 5 girls that can hit that ball very nicely behind that line.
Eileen Shannon in the front court for the Huskers on this rotation, and she doesn't need to be behind that 10-foot line. She gets the kill to go down. Nebraska leads 13-2. Cooper, big block by Shannon. Asper with a jump set. Benton. Huskers with another chance. Shannon again, off the block. Virginia Stair with the dig. Nice dig by Asper. Benton setting Olison. Dug by Boley. Here come the Huskers on the offensive. Janet Cruz. Nice block by Cooper and down side out to Stanford. Laura Asper will serve for the Cardinal. They really need to get something going, and you can't say that this game is given to the Huskers, but a service error, they can't afford to do anything like that. I was about to say, volleyball is such a game of momentum again, and if they could reel off a few points, they could really come back, but you got to have the serves to go down.
That's right. Serve is very important when momentum is concerned.
Shannon serving for the Huskers. Olison with the kill. Inside out back to Stanford. Amy Cooper will serve.
Laura Olison saying, I'm not ready to give this game up, guys. Take that one.
Cooper serves. Deep into the backcourt, Baker. And Novak will play the free ball to Stanford. Here comes their offense. Benton setting on the far side to Klein. Big block by the Husker line of Virginia Stair and Eileen Shannon. 4 hits called against Stanford. And side out back to Nebraska. Substitution coming in for Stanford is number 17, Christy Passo, seeing her first action, and another freshman on the Cardinal squad. Carla Baker with the dink. Nice dig by Passo. Novak. Hall block. Huskers again. Back set to Cruz. Big block by the Stanford front line. Laura Olison and Kristen Klein.
That's exactly what Stanford needs to do. They need to block our outside hitters and get the momentum on their side.
Huskers lead this 13-2. We're in the second set. They took game one, 15-11. Chris Hall going with the left-handed dink, couldn't get it to fall. Here's a right-handed kill attempt. Quick set to Oden. She finds the open spot in the court. Score the point for Stanford. Terry Pettit's not going to take any chances. They lead by 10, but he wants to make sure that his team's got everything just right. He calls timeout.
Stanford has answered Nebraska the last 4 or 5 plays with some great blocks. And, you know, we dwell on momentum a lot, but that's something that changes the momentum is a great block. And Pettit wants to make sure that Nebraska's not kind of taking a little breather here with a 13-3 lead. He wants to make sure that his Huskers are ready to end this one.
Nebraska with a 10-point lead. We've got a great crowd on hand here at the Nebraska Coliseum. The Husker Pet Band is here. The cheerleaders are here. And Nebraska ETV is here. We hope you're enjoying all the action of Husker volleyball. We've got another match coming up next month. Nebraska and top-ranked Hawaii. Again, we mentioned the top lineup that Terry Pettit tries to put it together on his schedule. Well, they're bringing Hawaii in on October 21st, and you can see that match here on Nebraska ETV.
I expect Hawaii to be rated #1 at that time, and Nebraska's going to be right up there, too. Another great game.
Stanford trailing by 10. Bev Oden, her attempt off Chris Hall. Finds the spot. 13-4 our score. Stanford with another point. Laura Olesen doing the serving for the Cardinal. Novak now setting Hall. Right in front of a diving Olesen, just out of bounds according to the sideline official.
Hall with a very powerful swing. Goes over the block most of the time. And that one was close.
Nebraska Pet Band thought that was in, but I don't think that's much of a surprise. They didn't get the call, however. Stair now. Jump set, back to Cruz. Good block by Oden. Chris Hall. And now the Cardinal with a chance on the offensive. Jessica Benton. Just out in front of Eileen Shannon, and Shannon can't get to it. And the Cardinal now slowly creeping up. Eileen Shannon trying to get to it just a little bit out of position. And we're going to have a substitution for the Huskers. Coming in is #2 Stephanie Thader, yet another freshman who has seen a lot of playing time for Nebraska this season. She's a freshman out of Union, Missouri, a 6'2" middle blocker. And just like Chris Hall and Janet Cruz, she can flat out hit.
She hits the ball harder than anybody out of the middle that I've seen. When she gets a hold of one, you'll see it bounce.
She'll play the free ball over. Stanford trailing by 7, 13-6. They've whittled away the Nebraska lead. Nice dig by Shannon, but plays the free ball to Stanford. Benton now with an attempt. And Cruz can't handle it. Stanford now 13-7 our score.
Both teams doing a good job of digging those hard hits, but you can see how it can break up the play. Eileen digging that one over to Stanford, which gives them, in essence, a free ball.
Olesen serving for the Cardinal. Novak now. Back set to Cruz. Off the block and out of bounds. Janet Cruz with another kill. Gets that side out back to Nebraska. They're going to try and get the momentum swing back on the Husker bench.
Cruz last year had a topspin serve. The palm of her hand would go on top of the ball and make it spin forward, which is similar to a jump serve because it drops in the same manner. Now she's serving a floater, and that one floated right out of bounds.
Jessica Benton serving for Stanford, and they get the play at the net to fall on the Nebraska side. They trail 13-8.
Pass by Stair, a little close to the net. Novak can't quite get a handle on it with that big block there.
Thader will check out of the Nebraska lineup. Virginia Stair comes back in. She will play the back row. Novak now looking for Chris Hall. And her kill attempt is into the net. 13-9 our score. Stanford slowly but surely coming back into the game too. Stair with the receive. Novak now backs it to Baker. Into the block. And Noden couldn't quite come up with it. Neither could Klein. Side out back to Nebraska, and Becky Boley will check back in.
Good hit by Baker, but it's right through the block.
Jump serve by Boley, just over the net. Asper with the dink. Just caught the Nebraska defense in a little bit out of position.
Little dump by Laura Asper right in the middle of the court. Huskers need to pick up those. Those are easy balls.
Substitutions coming in for Stanford. Number 7 is Jennifer Chafee. We saw her in the first set. And Karen Anderson, a junior setter, will check in. Benton and Asper will go out. We mentioned Asper has had a problem with the back injury. I don't know if that's why she's checking out of the lineup or just maybe a little tired. Stanford did go a 5-set match just a few hours ago with Kentucky. And a problem with the service receive again for Nebraska. 13-10 our score, and Terry Pettit calls timeout.
The reason for that substitution, Bill, is they're putting number 17, Christy Passo, so she can set a little bigger block for Laura Asper. She's a smaller player, as setters most oftentimes are. And I thought that Dawn Shaw would be substituting Jessica Benton in for Asper, because that's when you need a real strong block on that right side, although she's playing the opposite right side position. But Asper goes out so they can have a little bit bigger block in the front row.
Well, the Nebraska fans are kind of on the edge of their seats here in the second game. They felt pretty comfortable. Nebraska led 13-3 at one point, and Stanford has come back with 7 straight points in the second set, and Nebraska now leads 13-10, and Asper is on the out of the Stanford huddle. She is on the sideline, stretching out and trying to get her back limbered up. So apparently that injury may be coming back to nag her a little bit more. Kristen Klein is serving for Stanford as we come out of this timeout. Shannon finds Novak now, looking for Shannon again on this left side. Blocked by Chafee and Oden into Shannon's face, and another point for the Cardinal. 13-11 the score. Klein's serve is long.
Huskers need to get a handle on things now and get 14. They were up 13-3, and within minutes, it's 13-11. They can't afford to give away any more points.
Substitutions coming back in for Stanford. Jessica Benton, number 15, the 6'4" blocker, and Laura Asper, her back apparently limbered up a little bit, maybe tightened up on her just a touch earlier. She's back in the lineup now. Carla Baker with the serve for Nebraska. This is Bev Oden off the block. Dug by Novak. Back set. Boley will play the free ball over. Passo, dug by Boley. Novak now setting Shannon. Nice dig by Olesen. Novak is setting Shannon again into the block. Shannon one more time with a dig. Blocked by Oden, back down in front of Virginia Stair. Side out back to Stanford. Bev Oden will serve.
We're seeing some great defense here, and that's going to be the key, I think, as we go along into the match, is who can keep digging those balls.
Oden's first serve. Novak now. Quick set to Stair. She gets it right over the block of Olesen. Nice play by Virginia Stair.
There's Stair with the tip. She's got great vision, like we said before, and although she's not hitting the ball tonight, she's mostly placing it where she knows there's going to be no defense.
Now Novak serving for the Huskers. She's the one they want back there in control, and she takes control. They've gotten a lot of points off service aces from Novak. She's got another one there. Nebraska at game point, 14-11. Nice block by Shannon, and the Huskers take game to 15-11 once again.
Novak knew exactly where to serve that. She wanted to serve Bev Oden. Serve Bev Oden so it clogs things up over there by the setter. Asper gets in 2 tight dumps, but Shannon says, I'm there, baby.
Eileen Shannon, a freshman playing like a veteran. Just a great performance for Nebraska to come back. It looked like they lost that momentum, but that could be a big blow to Stanford. They fought their way back, trailed by 2, and then lose the match. Or lose the game, I should say. We've got a few more sets to go. Nebraska now leads this match 2-0 over the Stanford Cardinal. Earlier today, Angie had a chance to speak with Nebraska head coach Terry Pettit.
Coach Pettit, here you are in the 3rd annual First Chair Invitational, one of the finest invites in the nation as far as competition level goes. What are some of the benefits that Nebraska sees it has in throwing an invitational of this caliber?
Well, first of all, for us to reach our goals as a volleyball program, to compete for national championship, we need to play great teams. And Stanford, Kentucky, and Pittsburgh are great teams. And the better the competition, the better we're going to be at the end of the season. So that's probably the primary benefit. Secondarily, our fans, and we have great fans here, we'll have several thousand people here tonight, know good volleyball. And they like to see the Huskers play the best possible teams we can.
Nebraska's been plagued by a few injuries lately. Can you give us a little insight on that?
I'm not sure that I can give you insight. I wish I could. We began the season with 12 players. Linda Barsness is out with a torn anterior crucia. Virginia Stair has a sore shoulder. Eileen has had a bad back. Chris has had a bad back. Debbie Brand has a sore shoulder. But somehow we found a way to be competitive and be successful despite that. So we've found someone has risen to the occasion whenever somebody's gone down. We have 10 players that'll dress tonight. All of them will see some action, and hopefully that'll be enough.
What about these freshmen that have kind of had to take on some superior roles on this team because of the injuries? Tell us about the Huskers that maybe people aren't too familiar with.
Well, they're great players. Eileen Shannon, we feel, is the finest freshman left side player in the country, and she's certainly showing that. She had 70 attacks last night in a 5-game match against Kentucky. Stephanie Fader may be the fans' favorite freshman. She's 6'2", a tremendous athlete, has started both matches in the first-year invitational for Virginia Stair, and is going to be an All-American player before she graduates. Val Vermeulen was considered the best player on the East Coast. She's done a great job for us. She's a backup setter, right side player, left side player. And the fourth freshman is Debbie Brand from Adelaide, Australia, who has played some left side for us and played a crucial role in last night's win.
Debbie Brand from Australia, how is she adapting to the team system, being new to the United States and being new to a state like Nebraska?
Well, we don't have any meat pies here, but we do have runses, and so she seems to be adjusting pretty well. She's got a real good temperament. She's an experienced player. I think our program is much more intense than anything she's ever experienced. Prior to coming to Nebraska, the largest crowd she'd ever played before was 20 people. So that's been an adjustment for her, but I think a pleasant one. She's fit in and she's doing a good job.
Nebraska and Stanford tonight, both coming off tremendous matches against Kentucky. How do we match up with Stanford, and what do you think is going to happen tonight?
Well, I think the thing to focus on is serving. Physically, both teams are great teams. We're both quick, we both block well, we both have great setters in Novak and Asper. So I think it'll come down to serving. Whichever team serves the best without having too many service errors and forces the other team to attack primarily from the left side will be in an advantage. So what Nebraska needs to do, you need to see Novak going back there running some points, Becky Boley running some points, Virginia Stair running some points. If we do that, we're in good shape.
Coach, thanks a lot and good luck tonight.
Thank you.
Bill Dolman and Angie Milliken with you at the Nebraska Coliseum. Nebraska leads this match 2-0. They've taken a pair of 15-11 games here in the first two sets of this matchup. Take a look at the stats in game 2, Angie.
Nebraska's pretty tight there with the kills. Serving aces, I think, is a big key with 2 more than Stanford. And look at the blocks. Even on blocks, but the score says 15-11. Serving and blocking is the key, just like Terry Pettit said.
Nebraska had 3 service aces in that first set, I believe, 3 in the second set, so identical there and identical scores. So maybe there must be something to that. Coach Pettit said that's a key part of the game is the serving.
2 more serving aces and then 4-point differential. That's where it lay.
Members of the Husker softball team are in attendance here tonight. They are hosting the Husker Invitational, I should say, and the Maple Leaf Fields here on campus, and now they're coming in to take in some good volleyball action, and they must be enjoying what they're seeing now. I think a lot of these fans are here, are really enjoying this. Obviously, the Huskers are ahead, but there's some top-flight volleyball going on, and of course, Stanford out of the West Coast. Traditionally, the powerhouse, the hotbed for volleyball is the West Coast, and they come out of the Pac-10 conference, and that's as tough as there is.
The Pac-10 is the renowned conference for volleyball, and Nebraska being in the Big 8 is getting stronger. The Big 8's getting stronger. The Nebraska program is getting stronger, and it's great to bring matches like this for volleyball into the state of Nebraska and let the fans see what they have here.
Well, the Huskers having things going their way here in the Coliseum, and as they are in the Hubert H. Humphrey Metrodome in Minneapolis, the Huskers lead the Gophers of Minnesota 27-0 in the third quarter, so things going well on the Nebraska athletic front tonight. We are getting set for action here in the third set. Val Novak, who ended the last set for Nebraska serving, will start things off for the Huskers here in the third. Kill by Olesen. Want to mention in the lineup for Stanford checking in is number 5. That is Carrie Feldman. She will be the setter in this match, or in this set for Stanford. She replaces Asper, so maybe that back injury is coming back to haunt her.
I see Asper over there on the sideline with her diggers on and an ice pack in her back, so obviously she's hurting and probably won't be playing again. There you see Virginia Stair with a great kill, and hopefully she can hang in here with her shoulder and not have to revert to the sidelines as Asper did.
Eileen Shannon's attempt was dug nicely by Stanford. Here comes the Huskers on the offensive one more time. Janet Cruz from the right side. Feldman sending Olesen, big block by Cruz. Nice play by Stanford to keep it in play, but the referee's whistle, and we have a carry call.
Great block here. Carried it when she came down and tried to dig it up. Donshaw not happy with that call.
Tremendous blocking effort by Nebraska.
As I said before, Janet Cruz has an arm span and a hand span that is just phenomenal. She gets up and it's like hitting against a wall.
Eileen Shannon, the freshman from Illinois, serves for the Huskers. Diggs in the backcourt. Novak, nice save to keep the ball in play. The Cardinal now on the offensive. Chafee. Dug by Baker. Set is over to Chris Hall. And her attempt is wide. Big hit by Chris Hall. As that ball sailed into the Stanford bench, maybe she had a message for some of the people on the Stanford bench. Amy Cooper will serve for Stanford. They lead 1-0 here early in the third set. Quick set to Virginia Stair. And she's got the kill right in front of Feldman.
Stair hasn't been hitting many tonight, Bill, but she gets a hold of this one right through the block. And now she serves.
Out of Utica Centennial High School in Nebraska. Kristen Klein with the kill.
Baker got fooled there. She went up on the middle block. You see she's not outside with the double block there, and Kristen Klein will take that opportunity to hit one-on-one with Cruz right inside the block with a good kill.
Not a lot Eileen Shannon could do about that. Laura Olesen will serve for Stanford. Nice dig by Stair to keep it in play, and a nice play by the Huskers at the net. They'll get the side out.
Nice tip by Baker right in that hole.
Cruz will serve. Feldman setting Chafee on the baseline. Stair thought that was going to go out and watched it hit that white line. And of course that's in volleyball.
It's disappointing, I know, for her when she does that, because when you're experienced, you feel like you know the court like the back of your hand, and when you think something's out and you see that it lands in, you're kind of puzzled.
Back and forth they go. Back set to Baker. Dug by Olesen. It's going into the crowd, into the section where the Husker softball team was. And Stanford can't recover. Nebraska still trailing 1-0, but we're still early in the third set. They've won the first 2 games of this match. Becky Boley, the serving specialist, will check into the Nebraska lineup. There's a jump serve, a little bit too much on that one, and it goes long, side out back to Stanford.
Nebraska needs to put Stanford away here in this set, Bill, because if they give Stanford a berth, we're going to go 5 long games here. And I think Nebraska knows that.
Shannon with a big kill, answers back off Chafee's arm and out of bounds. Carla Baker will serve.
Stanford knows it can come back from 2 games down. It did that earlier today, as we mentioned, against Kentucky.
Feldman running the show for Stanford now. Back row, setting it to the back row with Kristen Klein, and you mentioned that earlier, that they will run plays to the back row.
Feldman's got 2 hitters front row, and she's got the big gun Kristen Klein in the back row. And a nice pass, she sets Kristen, and she can really hit the backcourt attack nicely.
Boley setting Shannon off the block of Cooper. Olesen, her kill goes into the net. Side out back to Nebraska. So 1-0 has been our score for several exchanges now. Val Novak with another rotation will serve for Nebraska. Quick set by Feldman in front of Novak, and she can't handle it. Side out, back to Stanford, and there 1-0 remains our score. Novak will do some house cleaning on the Nebraska side. Feldman waits to serve for Stanford. Jump set. Dink by Stair. And side out back to Nebraska.
Novak doing a great job of setting Virginia very high. So if she doesn't want to hit, or if she doesn't have the hit around the block, she's always got that tip. And I commend Val for that.
And a dink attempt by Chafee. So all that power volleyball in the last two exchanges, the dinks have scored. Stanford with the side out, still leading 1-0. Amy Cooper will serve. Baker to Novak, setting Cruz. Along the sideline in front of Oden. And Virginia Stair will serve for Nebraska. Stair has gone all the way for the Huskers, and as we said, that is a big boost for Nebraska. Oden to Feldman. Quick set to Chafee, and her spike is down. Don Shaw hoping his team can just inch away from Nebraska. They know it's just about a matter of moments before the Huskers could get things going here, and he wants to get that momentum back on the Cardinal side.
Chafee didn't play much the last game, and I think she had an opportunity to stand on the sidelines and watch her Stanford team lose momentum time and time again, and she's ready to play now. Cruz with a great attack through the block and off the defender's arm.
Cruz will serve. Tough serve to handle. Quick set to Oden. Nice block in the middle by Nebraska. Klein. Attempt is long.
Touch by Novak there.
Referees at the net. Off the block of Novak, as Angie said.
Now what we're seeing is Don Shaw is putting Jessica Benton in for the new setter, Carrie Feldman, so she can set a strong block against Chris Hall on the right side.
And checking in as the Stanford setter is number 6, Christy Anderson, Karen Anderson. And Anderson serves for Stanford, and she finally breaks that 1-0 score that we've had for quite a few exchanges, and Stanford leads 2-0. High serve played by Shannon. Novak looking for Hall. Anderson now, the setter, to Klein. And it goes off Chris Hall. Stanford now leads 3-0.
Nice attack just off the defender. That's a great substitution to make for Don Shaw. What he gets out of the deal is a good setter. Well, Don Shaw's got a new system this year. He feels like he's got about 10 players that can play just about every position, and I know he told you that yesterday when you talked to him, Bill. And what you see him doing right now is he's putting Jessica Benson in to block Chris Hall. She sets up a 6'4" type person block, and he's got Feldman coming in and also the other setter. So all the Stanford players are helping to contribute to this, and Don Shaw doing a good job of substituting.
Well, he said it is the new system, like you mentioned, and what he's been wanting to do in this early season is just to keep things simple and not put too many complex things into his offense and let his girls get used to this new way of playing where everybody has to contribute and play a role and play several different roles in their lineup. And so far they've been successful, as they are still ranked in the top 10 at 5th in the country. They've only lost once, and that was to Pacific, who year in and year out is also one of the top teams in the West Coast. Stanford with another point after we come out of the timeout. They lead 4-0. Set is to Chris Hall for Nebraska into the block of Oden. And Stanford now leads 5-0.
That right there is exactly what Jessica Benson, number 15, is doing in this match. She's in there to block Chris Hall.
Novak. Baker plays the free ball into the block. And the free ball played over by Stanford. Just a little miscommunication trying to get that offense going. And Chris Hall just out of her reach. She couldn't handle the set and into the net. Stanford leads 6-0. And we're going to have a substitution in for Nebraska. Debbie Brand, a freshman out of Australia with a little international experience, will check in for Chris Hall.
Debbie Brand does a good job of using the block, so maybe if she gets set, that's what she's going to try to do, is is used Jessica Benton.
Service error by Anderson, but she has gotten Stanford with a fairly comfortable 6-0 lead. Debbie Brand will serve. But before that, we'll have a substitution, and Boley, who had been substituting for Chris Hall, will go in and serve for Brand.
Pettit trying to make the substitution there with Brand to break the momentum by Stanford.
Jump serve by Boley is into the net. Service error sends the side out to Stanford.
Nebraska's breaking down on their serving a little bit, and as we mentioned, that's the key to this match.
But they get a gift back from Kristen Klein. Her service error goes into the net. And Carla Baker, who Coach Pettit said that it's a big plus if we can get some points from Carla Baker off her serve. They're not going to get one there. That one goes long. But Baker, not noted as a great server, is one of the Huskers' top front row players, but when they get her in that back row, if they can score off her, he said that's a big plus.
Pettit giving Stare a break now, sitting in Stephanie Fader. I'm sure Pettit wants to save Virginia's shoulder in case this goes into a marathon 5-game match.
Oden serving for Stanford. Novak now looking for Shannon. Off the block. And Benton will play the free ball over to Nebraska. Eileen Shannon again. Nice block by Benton. 7-0 the score. The Cardinal leads in set number 3. Oden just clearing the net with her serve. Set us to Shannon in the middle. And it's in along the sideline. Side out to Nebraska, and Val Novak will serve for the 3rd time in this 3rd set, trying to get the Huskers on the board. Stanford getting off to a lead like Nebraska did in the 2nd set. Miscommunication with Stanford on their offense. Novak on her knees with the set to Shannon. Anderson setting Olesen. Huskers on offense. Stephanie Thader, the freshman.
This crowd loves Stephanie Thader. She's a big girl and a freshman, and the crowd loves it. These Nebraska fans love it when freshmen come in and hit the ball that hard.
Huskers on the board. Quick set to Thader. Crowd wanted to carry. Again on the offensive to Thader, into the block of Olesen. Stanford on the offensive. Free ball played over but long. Nebraska on the board again, 7-2 the score, 3rd set. The big spark from Val Novak.
With the serve. We've seen it all night.
And another ace for Val Novak off Bev Oden and into the crowd. Nebraska trails 7-3, but they've got the momentum slowly shifting to the Husker bench. Substitution coming in for Stanford. Number 7 is Jennifer Chafee. And Carrie Feldman, another setter, will come into the lineup. So Benton checks out, as does Anderson. And Novak serves for the Huskers. Floating serve. Bev Oden plays it. Shannon with the kill. Olesen with the dink. And Shannon can't play the receive, and it goes out of bounds and side out back to Stanford. Carrie Feldman will serve. High serve, played by Shannon. Hustling to it is Novak. Here's Janet Cruz. Not a lot Kristen Klein can do but watch it as it hits that base or that sideline. Side out back to Nebraska. Shannon will serve for Nebraska. Olesen. Baker with the dig. Shannon with the backcourt set. Chris Hall. And for Chafee. Novak with the dig, and here comes Chris Hall again for Nebraska. Right in front of Kristen Klein. Chris Hall with the kill.
There's the set to Hall. Big approach inside the block. Terry Pettit said the team that wins is going to be the one that makes the other team set their left side the most, but setting Nebraska's left side is fine with me when you have Hall out there.
Eileen Shannon just hit the top of the net.
Trying to serve short over there to clog up that area where the setter comes from. Isn't quite successful.
Amy Cooper with the serve for Stanford. Free ball played over on the receive. And Jennifer Chafee has a freebie, and she makes the most of it. 8-4 is the score, 3rd set.
seems like Stanford runs more points when Chafee's in. I think she's kind of the spark for their team.
Net serve violation. The service error will send the side out to Nebraska. Virginia Stair checks in for Thader, who did a great job while she was in the match.
All these Husker freshmen are doing a great job. It's just inconceivable to me because it never happened that way when I was here.
Virginia Stair, a fifth-year senior, with the serve for Nebraska. Olesen into the block of Chris Hall, but it goes out of bounds, and Stanford will take control. Olesen will serve. Stanford leading 8-4, set number 3. Novak looking for Janet Cruz. And it hit the official. Obviously that was out. No question about that one.
With the official's shoes, and he's standing out of bounds then. Can't get much more out than that.
Had he called that in front of the Stanford bench, I don't know where Don Shaw may have ended up when he jumped out of the seat. Timeout called by Nebraska. They trail by 5, 9-4. Huskers have played well. They really haven't let Stanford get a lot of momentum in this third set. Stanford got out to a big lead, but Nebraska has done a good job of holding them so that all they've been able to do is get 1 point at a time or so, and they do have the 4, so they're within striking distance here in the third set.
Nebraska needs to keep serving, keep blocking, and so does Stanford. This is going to be a great game. And maybe the key to the match. Of course, if Nebraska wins, that's the match. But if Stanford wins, we're going to see an all-new ball game here.
Laura Olesen serves for Stanford as we come out of the timeout. Leading 9-4. Hall with receive. Jump set to Baker. And Olesen can't play it on the receive pass.
Baker needs to contribute out of the middle, and she does just that there. Oden not getting there, and she sees a hole in the block and hits it.
Janet Cruz with the serve. Jump set, looking for Chris Hall. Off the block of Oden. Chafee with the dink. Played nicely by Shannon. Here comes the Huskers on the offensive. Pasa, who checked into the Stanford lineup with a kill attempt. Chris Hall again. Into the backcourt in front of Olesen, and Chris Hall with yet another kill.
Great set by Novak, right out to Hall. She's not quite in position. Roll shot right over the middle of the block in the middle of the court.
Janet Cruz serving for Nebraska. 9-5 our score. Feldman, dink by Otis, played by the Huskers. Kill attempt by Val Novak, and it's a good one. That's a key we talked about, Val Novak's ability to hit.
Nice tip by Oden. Pass up. Novak, a left-handed setter.
Great serve by Cruz.
And Novak also an attacker in the past 2 years before she moved to the center position and hit a very high percentage at Nebraska, so she's got the ability to hit the ball.
Carla Baker showing her ability. She's got Nebraska climbing back into this match. She's got 2 straight kills of her own. Nebraska trails by 2, 9-7. Janet Cruz still serving. Feldman with the dink. Quick set to Baker. Stanford on the offensive now. Nice recovery by Janet Cruz. The Huskers play the free ball over, and the crowd loves it. Big hit by Klein is blocked. Nice play by Chris Hall on the dink.
Chris Hall not in position to hit. She wipes it off the blocker's hand. She could see that they were both out of position, and it's just a matter of who wants it more in that kind of a situation, Bill.
Well, regardless who wanted it more on that one, I think Chris Hall's got enough power that if she really wants it even half-heartedly, she's going to get the ball down. And Nebraska, as we said, was in striking distance, and they've struck back. They trail by 1, 9-8.
And the Coliseum is rocking tonight.
Husker fans really love their volleyball. The people who come to these matches really enjoy what they see, and they are really into it here. And we've all heard there's plans to renovate the Coliseum and maybe move the Husker volleyball team to another site in the near future, which I personally am not looking forward to. This place has got so much tradition and so much atmosphere to it that this is a home court advantage.
You know, people have always said, why don't Nebraska volleyball, the great tradition, why don't they play in the Devaney Center? And the simple fact is the team doesn't want to play in the Devaney Center. This is home to them. It's the old Coliseum, but it's also old, very strong tradition that lies in these walls.
You can get 100 people in here, and it can be as loud as anywhere. You can hear them now on the kill by Chris Hall. Nebraska has tied the match up at 9. I talked to Bob Siegel, who played basketball here at Nebraska a few years ago back in the 70s, and he said that when fans used to come to the Coliseum to watch a game, they were uncomfortable here, and they let you know it, and he loved it. And he said all the players loved it, but of course they've got the 15,000-seat Devaney Center to play in, which is a pretty nice building in its own right, but like you say, it's home for the Husker volleyball team here.
Yeah, next year the renovations will go into effect, and the Huskers will end up playing probably some of their matches in the Devaney Center and some in the new recreational facility. So we'll miss the Coliseum, but hopefully by the time that they're finished with it, it'll be an even greater facility than it already is.
We're tied at 9. Stanford now, 3-ball played over to the Huskers. Novak to Baker, dink attempt. Nice recovery by Klein. Chris Hall from Novak. Good dig by Cooper. Oden with an attempt. Nice block by Baker in the middle. Baker doing a great job with the net and the blocking in.
Here's Baker at the net. Blocking over. Press release said the other day that Carla Baker is 3rd on the all-time blocking list behind Karen Dahlgren, Sean Wise, and Virginia Stair. So we've got 2 of the all-time blockers on this Nebraska team right here, and they're showing it tonight.
Net violation against Nebraska, and the side out back to Stanford. We're still tied at 9 in the 3rd game of this match. Nebraska took the first 2 sets by identical 15-11 scores. They led big in that second game. Let Stanford creep back up, but then took control. Nice play by Baker again in the middle for Nebraska.
Here's a set by Novak to Baker inside the block. That's what they need to do. They need to keep setting Baker, keep setting the middle so it frees up the outside when they go out there to block, and perhaps they can get more one-on-one situations.
Cooper off the block.
Oh, that's up. Pancake by Cruz.
Nice save by... We have a referee's whistle. Stopping play.
That was up, Bill. Janet Cruz stuck her hand on the floor and the ball bounced off her hand, and a lot of times that's difficult for an official to see. It looks as if it hit the floor, but it was up.
The floor official didn't call it. It was the one on the standard on the far side of the court that made the call. And we're still tied at 9.
I think he might have been shielded a little bit. He probably shouldn't have called that.
Nice play by Virginia Stair. Gets the kill for Nebraska in the side out.
Here's Stair again with a great placement play. Knows where the hole in the block is, and she hits it. Novak doing a great job of mixing up the offense.
Olesen, big kill in front of Chris Hall. Side out Stanford. Substitutions will be coming in for Stanford. Chafee and Feldman will come in, replacing Benton and Anderson. So that same lineup change that we saw earlier in this set. Feldman will serve for Stanford. Novak, quick set to Virginia Stair. Stanford now on the offensive. Bev Oden from the backcourt. And her attempt is long. Really didn't have a lot of time to set up on that attempt.
Stair sent that tip deep because she knew the defense was weak on that side, and it didn't set Stanford up quite like they would have liked it to.
Olesen with the kill for Stanford, and the side out back to the Cardinal. We're tied at 9 here, Nebraska and Stanford. In Minnesota, they're not. Nebraska leading the Gophers 41-0 to give you an update from Minneapolis. They are in the 4th quarter now. We are in the 3rd set here. Big block by Olesen off the kill attempt from Nebraska. Stanford with the point. They now lead 10-9, 3rd set action.
Bill, I can't believe the level of play of these 2 teams this early in the season. I mean, I'm seeing a competition level that is similar to you know, NCAA tournament time. These girls are hitting the ball hard. People are digging those hard hit balls, and they're running their offense is great. And this is, you know, this is every bit of as good a game as we thought it was going to be.
Nice defensive play by Stanford to recover. Novak jump set to Cruz off the block. And the Huskers doing a good job. Free ball played over to the Cardinal. Feldman running the offense. Chafee. And Novak and Baker almost collide in the backcourt as Chafee gets the kill.
There's Chafee. Doing a good job when she's in there, Bill. She's their spark. She doesn't want to go home a loser to the Nebraska Cornhuskers, I tell you that.
Stanford leads by 2-11-9, third set action. They trail, though, 2-0. This is do or die for them. They really need to pull this one off, and that could be a big momentum swing for them. Send us to Chris Hall off the block. Nice recovery by Cooper, but into the Stanford bench. And Nebraska will take the side out. Chris Hall again with a big power swing.
Chris Hall hitting high and hard off that block, and it's tough to defend. You know, when that ball comes sailing off the court, but you know that it's touched the block, you still have to try to get it somehow.
Virginia Stair serving just over the net. Big kill by Kristen Klein, the All-American for the Cardinal, side out to Stanford.
Those kind of attacks show you exactly why Kristen Klein's an All-American. Answering the attack of Hall.
Olesen serving for Stanford. Jump set by Novak. Over to Hall again. That one goes long. 12-9 our score. Point for the Cardinal. And they're slowly moving away from the Huskers. We were tied at 9. Bev Oden with the play at the middle. And she gets it to fall in front of Novak. And another point for the Cardinal. 13-9 our score. We're going to have another substitution for Nebraska. Checking into the lineup is freshman Valerie Vermeulen, checking in for Janet Cruz. Vermeulen, a 6-foot freshman setter out of Wantagh, New York.
Pettit trying to break the momentum by Stanford here by the substitution.
Novak on the far side to Chris Hall. And along the sideline, side out Nebraska. Vermeulen will serve. She started a couple of games for Nebraska, or a couple of matches for Nebraska already this season. In fact, she started yesterday and saw a lot of action. So again, those freshmen, because of the injuries, are getting a lot of experience. And Angie mentioned the level of play already. It's only going to get better when both teams get to full strength. You know, the Huskers are really looking for Virginia Stair to get over that shoulder injury. Chris Hall has been bothered by a bad back, though we haven't seen it yet tonight. But Vermeulen has been one of the benefactors of getting a lot of playing experience so far in the early season. That's only going to pay off. Serve was long. And Stanford with the side out. Chafee will serve. Novak setting Hall. Off of Amy Cooper and back behind us and into the concession stand goes that ball. Tremendous hit by Chris Hall. Side out Huskers, and Hall will serve.
Stanford mopping up the floor a little bit. As I said, as the games go on, you're going to find a lot more perspiration on the floor, and you don't want to have that there when you're running to get a ball, because you'll slip and fall and hurt yourself.
They don't need any more injuries on either side. Klein off the arm of Janet Cruz. Side out back to Stanford. So Stanford trying to put the Huskers away here in the third set. They lead by 4, 13-9. Kristen Klein will serve.
Both teams hitting the ball hard.
Novak, quick set to Baker. Over the block and down.
But that's something I think Nebraska's doing a little bit better than Stanford, is setting their middle. And maybe it'll pay off for them in this game.
Baker got the kill and now gets the serve for Nebraska. They trail by 4.
Need to get some momentum here.
Bev Oden off the block. Nice job in the middle by Stair. Free ball played over by Olesen. Novak setting Eileen Shannon. Olesen with the dig. Chafee sets Cooper. Nice play in the backcourt by Baker. Free ball played over by Nebraska. Great job of keeping the ball in play by Nebraska. And a kill by Chafee goes long. Point Nebraska. 13-10 now the score. Carla Baker getting another point. off of her serve. And a service receive error by Stanford. Chalk up the ace to Carla Baker, and timeout called by Dawn Shaw and Stanford. Nebraska coming back in the third.
You were mentioning, Bill, the last time Carla Baker served, that Pettit said that she needs to serve some points. And in the most crucial point of this game, Carla Baker back to serve, and she's doing just that, trying to get the momentum back for Nebraska.
The Huskers certainly have the support of the crowd behind it. We hope you're enjoying all the action on Nebraska ETV. It's been everything we thought it would be. Nebraska, though, with the quick 2-0 lead, but the volleyball play, the level of play here has been outstanding.
It has. I'm wondering if the level of play like this is happening, you know, this weekend all around the nation. And if it is, you're going to have, you know, a whole new level of play is going to develop in the United States, because this is awesome.
Carla Baker serving as we come out of the timeout. Klein from the back row and in. Side out Stanford.
It's great that Stanford can utilize the talents of Klein and her attacking that backcourt. She hits that's a hard ball to hit from behind the 10-foot line.
Odin just clears the net on her serve. Shannon off the block now. Feldman, quick set to Cooper. And she gets the kill off Chris Hall. 14-11, Stanford now serving for game point. Hall to Novak. Quick set to Stair. Good block in the middle by Stanford. The Huskers with another chance on offense. Here comes the Cardinal. Olesen off the block of Novak and out of bounds. Point for Stanford, and they come back to take game 3, 15-11.
Well, Bill, first game 15-11 Nebraska, second game 15-11 Nebraska, third game 15-11 Stanford. What do you think the significance of this 15-11 score is?
You know the pattern that might be forming here? I don't know. Both teams been able to come back. They've been down. Stanford got up to a big 8-0 lead in that third set. Nebraska tied it up at 9. But Stanford able to put Nebraska away. We're at 2-1 now. Nebraska leading in this match. I don't know how many more 5-game sets these teams can go through.
I know. It's great to have things like the Nebraska Pep Band come out and support volleyball. In the years that I've been here, to see the program grow in the way that it has is, you know, it's exceptional. Nebraska is a very strong state for athletic support, and it's great that they're supporting, you know, one of the finer sports at this university in this volleyball team.
Well, we talked about the tradition of the West Coast and how strong those teams are. But when you want to take a look at, let's take a look at the stats real quick. Nebraska with 26 kills in that last game 3, but 2 service aces again with the team with the most aces has been able to take the set.
Blocks are tied again. Kills are fairly even. Nebraska with a few more, but the service aces is the category that you have to pay the most attention to. It's funny that Nebraska had actually 4 more kills, but 2 less service aces, and that's the key to the match right there.
The point I was going to make. You talk about the tradition of the West Coast, but when you want to find the most successful team over the last 5 years in women's collegiate volleyball, you've got to come back east, and you come to Lincoln, Nebraska. Terry Pettit, as you see, getting his team ready to go for the 4th set, has built the program here at Nebraska that has been the most successful team in the country, win-loss-wise, than any other. And that's fantastic for the Midwest and for Nebraska.
Terry Pettit built this program by taking girls off the farm that were good, strong, athletic girls and turning them into volleyball players. And as he builds the program, he still recruits athletes and turns them into volleyball players, but he can start recruiting people who want to play at a school like Nebraska, like Eileen Shannon, who came from one of the premier junior Olympic or junior national teams in the country in sports performance in Chicago, Illinois. So as you see Nebraska's program develop, you see, you know, better recruits coming in and people that have had more volleyball experience. But I tell you what, it was Nebraska farm girls who were athletically inclined that got this program going 13 years ago.
Stanford gets things underway here in the 4th set. Eileen Shannon off the block in the middle. Olesen with the kill. Hit at the net by Novak. Point scored for Stanford. You got to wonder when Don Shaw takes a look at the Nebraska lineup, or any coach for that matter, and they see Chanute, Kansas, Waco, Nebraska, Bertrand, Nebraska, Karen Dahlgren, and you got to wonder, where is he getting these people? But he knows where to find athletic talent. He finds the best athlete available and really makes him into an outstanding volleyball player. Even he goes to Ogallala, Nebraska, and finds some good talented players.
Who?
Speaking, of course, of my partner to my right, Angie completed her eligibility last year and was a fine player here in Nebraska. As I mentioned, played in that 1986 Final Four tournament. Stanford with a 1-0 lead here in the fourth set. But Nebraska gets the side out. Carla Baker will serve. She's been a hot server for Nebraska so far in this match. Good play at the net by Virginia Stair. Good hustle to get to the ball. Olesen on the far side in front of Debbie Brand, who checked in at the game break.
Another great thing about this Coliseum, Bill, you see that ball soaring very high. A lot of times when Hall will have a strong attack and someone will dig it, you'll see that ball go to the ceiling. And in normal arenas, if the ball hits the ceiling, it's a dead ball. And you'd have to soar that sucker up there to hit the ceiling in this Coliseum.
Stanford now leading 2-0. Of course, there is a banner that hangs from the ceiling of the Coliseum, and I don't think it's one that Nebraska coach Terry Pettit minds hanging there. If it would hit, it would bring a lot of attention to the fact that Nebraska has won 13 consecutive Big 8 volleyball championships, or you could say every Big 8 volleyball championship. This is how successful this program is. Play at the net, and Nebraska gets the ball to fall for them, and they'll take the side out. Val Novak will serve. Olesen on the far side with the dink. Novak. Cruz setting Shannon. Off the block and into the balcony. Point Nebraska. Val Novak again with another service point. Free ball for the Huskers. Novak running the offense. Eileen Shannon on the left side. Off the block of Cooper. And down 3-2 now the score. The Huskers with a point away.
Here's Novak with the set, out to Shannon. Just off the hands of Amy Cooper.
Feldman. Kristen Klein from the back row. Her attempt is wrong. Nebraska. The scoreboard read Stanford 3, Nebraska 2. We now have a correction. The Huskers have taken a 3-2 lead, so they had tied it up. Nebraska now leads by 1. Feldman, quick set to Cooper. Cruz. Setting Shannon. They gave her the line, that sideline, and she took advantage of it.
She certainly did. You can see she has line there, and she takes it. There's a lot of room for error when you're hitting between the outside blocker and that line, but she did a very nice job of getting it in with a great attack there.
Officials call against Stanford for carrying the ball over the net. And another point for Nebraska. Val Novak. Nebraska now leads 5-2. Feldman. Setting Chafee off the net. Huskers on the offensive again. Here comes Janet Cruz. Right into Kristen Klein, and there's another thing she can do about it. Nebraska's 6-2.
Great set by Novak over her head. Cruz takes the line this time on the other end of the court and answers back.
Nebraska leading 6-2. Don Shaw has seen his team fall behind once again to Nebraska early in the set. He calls timeout.
You know, one advantage that Nebraska might have over Stanford as we get into these late games, Stanford hasn't had any home matches. They've been on the road a lot. Nebraska's been here. They've been lifting weights. They've been getting in great shape. You know, of course, the Nebraska strength program is world-renowned. Boyd Epley and all his efforts. And the Huskers are strong girls, and that might pay off in these later games.
You mentioned that Terry Pettit likes to go after the best athlete available. And instead of just getting the pure volleyball player, he gets the best athlete. And sometimes he's mentioned that has been a big factor in the success of his team. And later in the matches, he specifically noted Carla Baker, who is probably the best conditioned athlete on the Nebraska squad.
Carla works as hard as anybody in the weight room.
Two teams trading errors, side out back to Nebraska. Nebraska leading 6-2, and Eileen Shannon serves and just missing the corner. Side out will go back to Stanford. Bev Oden checks in for Stanford, and Laura Olison will serve for Stanford. Quick set to Virginia Stair. Kristen Klein off the Nebraska block. Cruz, far side, sets Chris Hall into the block of Oden. Oden will play the 3 ball over, dug by Shannon. Set is to Janet Cruz.
Nice ball handling by Nebraska. Great back set. One-on-one is Cruz. And that's what Nebraska needs to do, is mix up the offense so that our hitters can be one-on-one with their blockers.
Blocking by Chris Hall. She's been doing it all at the net for Nebraska.
I think the Coliseum senses that perhaps the momentum has shifted over to the red and white Huskers.
Tough service receive for Stanford. Nebraska will have a chance on offense. Janet Cruz again, off the block of Klein, out of bounds, and into the point for the Huskers.
Another back set, hole in the block. Cruz opts to go off the outside hand of Kristen Klein.
Virginia Stair serving for Nebraska. They lead by 6. Bev Oden, good block by Baker. And Oden scores with the dink, or gets the side out, I should say, for Stanford.
Bev Oden, the top recruit in the nation last year, playing for Stanford. Of course, I mentioned her 2 sisters earlier. Kim played on the national team and here at Stanford, and Elena at the University of the Pacific.
Kristen Klein for Stanford. Dug by Virginia Stair. Carla Baker. Quick set to Oden. And off the block of Baker, Stanford's back on the board. 8-3 the score.
Oden giving a little tip in the hole on the outstretched hands of her former Olympic Festival teammate Val Novak. This summer, Novak was the setter for Oden on their Olympic Festival team.
Substitutions back in for Stanford is that the setter combination and blocker with Benton and Anderson checking in. Feldman will go out. And Stanford can't answer back with on the 3rd hit. Side out back to Nebraska. Janet Cruz will serve. Laura Asper has not played since midway through that 3rd set. So obviously her back has been giving her some problems.
She's got her sweats on, so I don't think we're going to see her.
Again, a tough time for Stanford trying to get their offense going. Val Novak at the net with Bev Oden, and Novak wins that exchange.
Novak knows she's up. She's got to turn around and just try to block both those defenders.
Nebraska leads 8. And timeout is called by Stanford.
Don Shaw is not very happy with his Stanford team members, but they're still hanging in there. They just need to pass, ball handle, and get the ball to Oden so she can hit out of the middle, and get the ball to Klein, because she's doing a heck of a job hitting on the outside.
Well, no lead is secure. If the team can get a momentum and reel off a couple of good serves, Stanford does have the talent that they can come back in this match. But as we said, they played a 5-game match earlier today. They were able to pull that out. But they had to come from behind to do that, and they've been a notoriously slow starter in this tournament. And the one set in this match against Nebraska that they did win, they got up to an 8-0 lead. And the 2 that they've lost so far, they've been behind by quite a bit and had to come back by way too much and got too far down. And such is the case here. Nebraska leading 9-3, I should say. The scoreboard had said when we took the timeout, it is not Nebraska 9, Stanford 3 in the 4th game. And we have a little conference with the officials.
They gave the side out here for Stanford, and I think it may have been a timeout violation made by Terry Pettit or one of the members of the coaching staff. At any rate, Nebraska was serving, Janet Cruz was serving, and they made a violation somewhere, and now they have sided out, and Kristen Klein will be serving for Stanford. Pettit unhappy with what's going on, and we've got everybody wanting to talk with the up official. Virginia Stair and Val Novak, being the co-captains, are the only one on the team that can actually converse with the up official, and if others try to talk to him, you can easily be penalized in much the same way. Now Cruz is back to the serve. We've got it figured out.
Well, not on the Stanford side, because now Don Shaw is wondering what's going on. Janet Cruz, meanwhile, just waiting for her chance to serve. She'd like to get maybe a couple more points on the board for Nebraska, keep that momentum. And Dawn apparently satisfied with what has transpired, and we're set to play some volleyball. 4-set action. Stanford needs to come back, and they can't play the receive. Olison's receive went to Don Shaw, and he just hit the ball away in frustration. Nebraska leads 10-3.
Cruz with the topspin that time. We've been seeing her serve a floater most of the night, but Terry Pettit behind his clipboard is signaling for her to serve a topspin and in what area he wants her to serve it in. And all night long she's been serving the floater. I think Stanford expected her topspin early. They didn't see it, and now we pull out a weapon late in the game with Cruz's two-ace topspin serve.
Nebraska leads 11-3. They've really taken control in the 4th set. Christy Postle will check into the Stanford lineup, replacing Amy Cooper.
Don Shaw trying to break the momentum with the substitution.
Cruz serving deep into the Stanford backcourt. Line. Her kill goes off, and Virginia Stair into the crowd. Side out will go to Stanford. They've got to get something going. This is do or die for them. I said that earlier. They're down 2-1, and they trail in this game 11-3. Bill Dolman and Angie Milliken along with you tonight. Hope you're enjoying all the action on Nebraska ETV. Again, we want to remind you that October 21st, Nebraska will play Hawaii in a game you can see right here. Kill by Carla Baker, and Nebraska has things going their way.
I bet you that Carla Baker's sets and kills have tripled in this game as compared to the game last night in Kentucky, because Nebraska wasn't setting the middle enough. And I tell you what, that's been one of the keys to this night's match, is Novak mixing up the offense to throw Stanford's block off a little bit.
Boley with the jump topspin serve. Stanford having a tough time on the offensive end to try and get things going. Passo's attempt is going to go wide, and Stanford really out of sync offensively. Point Nebraska, 12-3 the score. We're in the 4th set.
Stanford losing the momentum. It's loud in here. It's tough for them to regroup. And these are the times you don't like to remember in your volleyball career.
Free ball will be played over by the Huskers. Stanford trying to get their offense going. Anderson sets to Oden in front of Stair. Oden with the kill.
And there's the #1 recruit in the nation last year, Bev Oden. She's been tipping a lot out of the middle tonight. I'm not sure if it's because she might have a nagging shoulder, but when she gets a hold of one, she can hit the ball.
She's had an ankle problem, but frankly, Angie, Nebraska's blocking scheme has been just on tonight. And Carla Baker, Virginia Stair, and Chris Hall and Janet Cruz, you just go on and on and on, have done a fabulous job. Solon with the jump top spin serve, and she can't get the success that Becky Boley had. Side out back to the Huskers, and Carla Baker will serve. Terry Pettit's got to be feeling just a little bit antsy on that Nebraska bench. He doesn't show a lot of emotion, but you know, if he can get that win over Stanford, it'll be a big one. Ace for Carla Baker. 13-3, Nebraska leads.
That's a big play. An ace serve this late in the game is devastating for the momentum. Could be devastating for Stanford.
Feldman and Chafee check back into the Nebraska lineup. Nebraska had Stanford down earlier in the 2nd set, 13-3, the same margin they have right now. Stanford was able to climb back in it. Nebraska won that 15-11, but I think they'd like to put them away right here. Big block by Shannon. Passo. Referee's whistle. Net violation against Nebraska. Side out Stanford. Terry Feldman will serve. Novak at the net. Virginia Stair. Another official's whistle. Carey called on Virginia Stair. Point for Stanford.
These officials have given so much freedom, you know, off the elbow, off the head, off the shoulder. You know, it's difficult when they give that much freedom to make a call like that.
There's that quick dump by Val Novak with a lot of success. 13-4.
Just when you're not expecting it, Novak will go in to dump.
Novak will serve for Nebraska. Big block by the Huskers. Cruz setting Shannon. An ace by Eileen Shannon. 14-4 the score.
Great hit by Eileen Shannon over the top of the block. She's not that big a hitter. The Coliseum is on their feet here for game point. Val Novak serving, and it's an ace!
Val Novak, the Huskers, 15-4.
There's not many better ways to end a game like this than an ace serve by your best server, your team leader, and Val Novak. Great match tonight. The Corn Huskers pulled it off.
Nebraska wins the fourth set, 15-4. Tremendous effort by Nebraska. They gave up the third set to Stanford, but they came back with a tremendous performance in the fourth set and just flat out dominated Stanford. It was a great match for Nebraska all the way around. And Val Novak put the exclamation point with the ace serve. The crowd at the Devaney Center loving it, the pep band in the background. Nebraska goes undefeated in this tournament, and they go to 9-0 on the season, and you know you're going to see a shakeup in the rankings this week.
Terry Pettit, I think, has been a little bit disappointed about the rankings thus far, although I know he doesn't like to focus on the polls this early in the season, but I'm sure that Nebraska will go up beating fifth-ranked Stanford, and it depends on how things went this weekend, but Nebraska's bound to go up in the ratings now.
And of course, there you see the final score. Nebraska defeating Stanford 15-11, 15-11, 11-15, and a dominating performance 15-4. And we want to update you from Minneapolis. With about 5 minutes to go in that game, things are looking good for the home team here again. Nebraska leading Minnesota 48-0. And we did receive word that Mike Grant was playing quarterback for Nebraska. So the quarterback situation in Nebraska really being highlighted tonight. Val Novak, you said, was the... Oh, now we're getting a final score from Minneapolis, and Nebraska did win that game 48-0. But the quarterback position for Nebraska volleyball was Val Novak, and she did an outstanding job tonight.
She did. One of the keys to Nebraska, as I said, is Val really needed to mix up the offense. She needed to set the middle, she needed to set the back set, the 5, and she needed to give Chris Hall and Eileen Shannon good sets out there so that they could, you know, the sets that they really like to hit the most. And she just did a great job. She set Carla Baker a lot more than she's been set lately. And that was the key to Nebraska, along with their serving and their phenomenal blocking by Stair and Carla Baker.
Well, after this tournament, Nebraska, which they, as I said, they come out of this one undefeated. The Huskers will begin Big 8 play September 30th at Colorado, and we talked about how the Big 8 is improving in Colorado. It's only been had a program for 3 or 4 years now, and they are one of the better teams in the country. So the Big 8 is getting better.
Colorado's had a team for 3 years. They're ranked 11th in the country. For a team to have, you know, their only existence for 3 years, and now they're breaking the top 10, just about to break the top 10. That's enormous. Here's the stats for the game. Nebraska 12 kills to 8. Service aces, there you see what the key to the match was. 4 service aces to nothing. Blocks are steady and the score 15-4. So service aces, Bill, like Terry Pettit told us it would be, was the key, the ultimate key to this game.
Nebraska in dominating fashion defeats Stanford 3-1 tonight.
Many of the fans in Nebraska, you know, enjoy watching this game because of the high velocity hits that go on and the tremendous blocks, and I think they learned tonight that serving is a big part of volleyball, because if you don't have a good serve, you simply don't score points. And Nebraska showed that they had some tough serves tonight, and Stanford's a good team. These two teams might meet down the road in Hawaii at the Final Four, who knows? But tremendous competitive level tonight. And you know, great things are going to happen for Stanford, and great things are going to happen for our Cornhuskers here in Nebraska.
Well, Nebraska volleyball fans have got to be proud of what they've seen tonight. Nebraska took on the team from the West Coast. That was Stanford. They had been ranked as high as #2 in the country. This was the team Nebraska defeated back in the Final Four. It was no fluke. Nebraska volleyball is alive and well, and they are for real. And when they get some people back from injuries, Nebraska is going to be that much tougher. And year in and year out, this could be one of the best years for Nebraska. I know they've got their sights set on a national championship. Nebraska wins it. They go through the first tier invitational unbeaten, 3-0. They defeat Stanford 3-1. We hope you enjoyed all the action here on Nebraska Volleyball here on Nebraska ETV. For Steve Alvis, our producer, Martha Florence, and all the entire crew, which brought you such an exciting match and did a great job in doing it. I'm Bill Dolman for Angie Milliken. Hope you enjoyed all the action. Good night from Lincoln, Nebraska.